Hey, it's Steven from your favorite travel and money blog, Trip of a Lifestyle, and today I want to share a little info about international power adapters, something we had to learn about on our 3-month trip to Australia earlier this year. If you're traveling to a country with different wall outlets than home, you've got two main options for plugging in: a simple outlet adapter and a voltage converter. I'm going to show you some examples of each one and go over the details that most people miss about them, but I also want to make sure you know which one of those two you need for your trip, because the wrong adapter can literally fry your electronics. First up, let's talk about simple power outlet adapters without voltage conversion capabilities. These are lighter, smaller, and less expensive than voltage converters, and for many travelers, they're the only thing you'll ever need. To tell if one of these will work for you, just take a look at each device you'd want to plug into a wall AC outlet on your trip, like this laptop charger. If your devices all say they accept 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz as input, you're good to go. You can plug in any of this stuff into almost any adapter in the world, and it'll probably work just fine. Most phone, laptop, and tablet chargers fit the bill, so if that's all you're bringing on your trip, these simple travel adapters will work like 99% of the time. If you pop into a store near the airport, you can probably get one that looks like this for $5 or $10 at the last minute. But they're not my favorite. For one thing, they're too specific. This one converts an Australian AC outlet to a North American one, and that's it. I'll need a new one for almost every country I visit after that. So if you're gonna go with a simple outlet adapter that doesn't convert voltage, at least consider one that's more versatile. Here's one from Epicka called the TA-205, which I linked in the video description. These adapters are a little more robust because they can support a bunch of different countries in one package. For example, the male side of this one has slide-out plugs for North America and Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and China, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, along with any countries that share those plug types. The female side also accepts multiple plug types, so it works in both directions. This model gives us a bonus North American outlet on top, and all of these are hooked to a replaceable 10 amp fuse, a safety feature that some of the cheapo adapters lack. At 10 amps, the AC outlets on this device can deliver up to 1,000 watts of power at 100 volts, or 2,400 watts at 240 volts, which is way more than I personally need for anything. Aside from just converting AC outlets though, a lot of these adapters provide us with USB ports too. This one has 2 USB-C ports and 3 USB-A ports, which I pair with this retractable adapter cable to give me access to every possible USB plug type. It's also linked in the video description. My only complaint about the USB ports on this model is that their total power output is just 35.5 watts. That's plenty to charge phones and tablets, but it's not enough power to charge Lauren's small laptop, which takes up to 65 watts via USB-C, or larger laptops and things like drone batteries, which can suck down as much as 100 watts. Honestly, most USB adapters on the market suffer from the same problem, and there aren't that many out there that do 100 watts or more. No worries though, you can still power those bigger devices, but you need to plug their chargers into the AC outlet on this adapter rather than using its USB ports directly. If that's a deal breaker for you, look for a more expensive model with higher powered USB ports. Now, everything we just discussed involved plugging into a simple power outlet adapter, which does not convert AC voltage or frequency. So what if you have some devices that can only accept specific voltages or frequencies, like a hair straightener, a shaver, a toothbrush, a light bulb, or anything else that does not say that it accepts the full range of 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz. In those cases, you need a power outlet adapter that also has voltage conversion capabilities. Then you'll be able to plug in all your stuff without worry. Depending on where you live, this may be a step up or a step down converter. Since my home of North America is on the lower end of the voltage spectrum, I use a step down converter when traveling to higher voltage countries like Australia. The one I have is the ALLWEI 230 watt travel adapter. And while it's worked great for me, it's also bulkier and more expensive than the simple adapters we talked about before, while providing a lower maximum AC power output that's not enough for high draw appliances like hair dryers or electric kettles or coffee makers. The higher power output you need in watts, the more expensive these voltage converters can get. I'll be honest with you, if you really need to use a super high power device like a hairdryer on your international trip, just use the one that's in your hotel, or at worst, buy a cheap one in the store and get rid of it before you leave. You'll probably still spend way less than getting an ultra high powered voltage converter. Anyway, this one's kind of cool because it comes with individual simple adapters, like the ones we talked about before, for each country, which you can use separately when you don't actually need the voltage conversion capabilities in the main device, like when you're charging your phone or your laptop. The voltage converter itself provides 2 AC outlets and 4 USB ports, although again, the USB ports are not powerful enough to charge a laptop. You need to use the AC outlets in combination with your own separate laptop charger for that. Also note how the AC outlets created by this converter are specific to my home country, rather than the universal female ports that we saw on the Epicka device. Anyway, if you don't want to worry about frying your devices and you hate reading labels to find out whether you will, a voltage converter specific to your home country like this one will probably do the trick. Just get ready to pay more and carry a little more with you wherever you go. Safe travels! If you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe or follow along on your favorite social media platform.